Welcome to Tiger Talk, your source for information about your hometown and surrounding area. Tiger Talk is brought to you by... And Tiger Talk brought to you by Strain Beans Coffee House on Lower Main in Princeton, Hancock's Neighborhood Market on Commerce Street, and Katie's Delicious Homemade Goodness, and Perry's Floors and More. Strain Beans Coffee House in downtown Princeton specializes in made-to-order espresso drinks. Stop by Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to noon and enjoy a pick-me-up. You can also enjoy fresh-baked scones, homemade chocolate chip and oatmeal raisin cookies, and espresso brownies that'll keep you going all day long. They're also open on Saturday from 9 to 2. Strain Beans Coffee House on Lower Main in Princeton. Great coffee and more in a great atmosphere on Lower Main in downtown Princeton. And a very good morning, and welcome back to Tiger Talk as we continue our Meet the Candidate series as we head toward the May 22nd primary. Have the pleasure of welcoming into WPKY today Democratic candidate for Caldwell County Judge Executive, and that's Rick Blackburn. Good morning.
Good morning, Ty.
How are you?
I'm doing great, thanks.
I had you scheduled to come in. You said, is today my morning? And I told you I'd text you, and luckily you remembered. Between
yes.
A power outage I had last night and stuff, I didn't get around to text you. So glad you remembered, and I'm glad you're here.
Well, thank you again.
And let's preface this by saying this is not me asking questions and grilling the candidates about anything in particular. This is their time just to sort of introduce themselves, let the listening audience know, what they're about, who they are, and just kind of go from there. I help out from time to time, but my point here is just to kind of just be here to help facilitate and keep the conversation going for the time allotted for the candidate. So there you go. Well, take it away, sir.
Okay, thanks. My history could be an hour-long program, so I won't go that far in depth in it, but I was born and raised here. My mom and dad was Bill and Nell Blackburn. If you don't know him, most people don't remember him too much because they'd have to be way much older than I am because he retired in 74, but he had a family shoe store downtown on East Main Street. And, of course, I'm one of 5 children, the number 4 son, so that makes it kind of perfect for the pick 4 on the ballot.
There you go.
I hope that's a good luck sign. Of course, my dad first started in business he was in business for 30 plus years, 15 years in Dawson and 15 years in Princeton. But of course I'm a single person, but I do have 2 sons, Chase, his wife Molly, and daughter Reagan that live in Muhlenberg County, and Colby that lives here with me, and he works out here at Agrichem. And let's see, what else can we go through? Of course, I started working for my father when I was 12 years old. I would go in after school, work on the weekends, and so he taught me a whole lot about how to operate business, how to handle money, and deal with people. Because being in a shoe store, you had to talk to people, and that's when you sat down and tried the shoes on for people and help them find the right size. But from there, I kind of branched off into the restaurant business after his retirement and spent a little bit over 25 years in restaurant management and supervision in local restaurants. When I say local, that's surrounding towns, but I still lived here. The most of the time it was as a franchise rep for one of the major large companies that we covered 32 states. And I'd go in and be the troubleshooter and person to help the franchisees if they had problems, and opening stores, closing stores, and just doing what was necessary to keep them operating profitably. What else?
You were also in the didn't you run a trucking driving school company? Was that something that you did?
That was after the restaurant
Yes.
work. Then I decided to change my career then and did go into the transportation industry. And I served about 4 years in Paducah at one of the truck driving schools, teaching the new drivers, instructing them on how to actually pass to get the CDL test and drive them through the country for a while. And then I spent the next, up until my retirement, basically in transportation here for a local company and driving local.
Just looking at the sheet here, some of your biography, your family. You come from a long line of politicians and folks that have served here in the county.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, my father was never in politics. He just voted all the time and helped choose the right ones. But my grandfather was Albert Hoy Blackburn. He was the judge here. Before it was called county judge executive, it was just a county judge. And he served a couple of terms, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Then his father, Zebulon, my great-grandfather, was he served as a justice of the peace 8 consecutive years and involved in the sheriff's department. His father also was on the sheriff's department before it was an elected position. He was in as a deputy position and also justice of the peace. And then my third great-grandfather was a Revolutionary War soldier that's buried out here in Moore Cemetery. He moved here from Virginia and helped establish Donaldson Baptist Church and the the Farmersville School.
Okay.
Along with the William Ashert that moved in here with him.
Okay.
So almost 200 years, and I'd like to continue that tradition. Try to keep the family name going.
Right. Well, that is really cool that you have that kind of heritage and that kind of line. Tell us a little bit, so you have the family history. Tell us then, you've got that. Tell us again about your vision or what you're thinking, why you jumped in and decided to run for judge executive yourself.
Well, there's a lot of reasons. The main thing, I'm born and raised here. I love the county, love the city. I just like to see things go forward, to move forward, as my campaign mentions. We need to really think about the future of our county, bring in more industries if we can, if nothing else, keep what we have, because that's a major thing. And then I'm lost again.
That's okay. We can take if you want to, we'll take a break, and you can come back, collect your thoughts. We'll talk some more about this, and you can come back and just tell us, more about your kind of vision as if potentially if you become judge executive of Caldwell County. And we'll just come back here. We'll take a break, let you kind of collect yourself and collect your thoughts. We're already almost 10 minutes into this thing. So,
goodness.
And like I said, this is 30 minutes for you, whether you use the entire 30 minutes or use 18 or 20 minutes of that. But we'll take a break and we'll collect our thoughts and we'll come back. You're listening to Tiger Talk on your hometown radio station. I have the pleasure of having Rick Blackburn in studio, Democratic candidate for Judge Executive here in Caldwell County. We'll be back on Tiger Talk. Stay tuned.
Hancock's Neighborhood Market on Commerce Street in Cadiz is the place to shop for delicious homemade goodness. Hancock's makes their own fresh chicken salad, pimento cheese, salads, and a variety of mouth-watering desserts, sure to please your entire family. While at Hancock's, be sure to visit their meat department for the best selection of USDA choice meats in the area. Hancock's Neighborhood Market in Cadiz, hometown, homemade goodness, and the Hancock name you know and trust for quality for your family. Hancock's Neighborhood Market on Commerce Street in Cadiz.
Since 1978, Perry's Floors and More has been selling, installing, and servicing homeowners throughout Western Kentucky with quality flooring and workmanship. Perry's Floors and More carries luxury vinyl plank and luxury vinyl tile, carpet, window treatments, and more. Quality brands like Mannington, Shaw, Tarkett, Beaulieu, and Flexitech. There is a reason why we say you can walk on our reputation. Come see Bill and Lucy at 127 West Market Street or call 270-365-9869.
And we're back on Tiger Talk on WPKY. The Tiger, Rick Blackburn, Democratic candidate for Judge Executive, Caldwell County, in studio. Of course, the primary coming up on May 22nd. Rick, I do want to mention you were involved in a political forum Saturday night, you and the other Judge Executive candidates, the Democratic candidates,
Yes.
down at the Tourism Center Saturday night. And we have a recording of that event, and WPKY will be airing that at 7 o'clock tomorrow evening, and we'll be promoting that a little bit more as we go throughout the day. But if you missed your opportunity, didn't get a chance to get down there, then we certainly encourage you to tune in and hear the Democratic candidates for Judge Executive from that forum Saturday night. So
Yeah, that's a good thing, because a lot of people made the comment they couldn't hear very well because the acoustics in the room was not real good.
Sometimes it can be difficult in a room, and like that. So hopefully, I think we've got a good recording of the event, so you can tune in to WPKY tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. So
Anyway,
go right ahead, sir. Take it away.
If you haven't seen my brochure, I'd like to kind of touch base on my 4-point platform. And the first one was to run an effective county. I'd like to make sure that the county runs effectively by making sure that the goals for each department are publicly documented and that the metrics for success are gathered and published. And this will allow the educated citizen input, and we will be able to review and improve our processes on an ongoing basis. Number 2 would be budget consciousness. I think it's critical to know where every single dollar goes and that we are saving money wherever we can so we can have a buffer against any possible future unpleasantness. Number 3 is focus on committees. I'd like to focus on the critical community issues. As 2 examples, I will work closely with the law enforcement on the ever-growing opioid and methamphetamine epidemic, and I will work within the community to increase safety for our families and to research and implement the best ways to protect our schools and students. And the last one, number 4, is to be investment ready. Beyond platform pillars 1 and 3, which are critical to be investment ready, we must recognize that Caldwell County competes with over 3,000 counties in the United States. That's 119 others in Kentucky alone. So in order to attract industry and investment here, we must take a serious inventory of our God-given assets so we can clearly demonstrate what makes Caldwell County uniquely desirable. We will improve our assets and infrastructure as necessary to be able to successfully partner in the growth throughout this 21st century.
Okay.
That's the main points.
Okay. And again, seems like I'm talking to you more than I have the other candidates, but
that's okay.
You said that was okay, and just trying to facilitate and keeping this rolling for the time allotted. What are some of the positives? What are some of the good stuff that you're proud of here in Caldwell County? Just in general, things that you can point out and are proud of and make this place attractive. What are some of the things that you?
Well, I think we're a really neat community. It's old. We're one of the older towns and counties in the state. We've got awesome people here, and we've got industry that actually attracts people. The 2 main ones, of course, and we've got the smaller ones around. But we're sitting right on the interstate, actually 2 interstates, I-69 and I-24, and we've got water. We have the water transportation. We have rail, and we have a small airport. So we're sitting right in the hub of an area of the United States that would be perfect for any kind of company to come in and move into, because we're just a few hours from every major city that you could pin on a map. We have workforce available. I don't know. It's just a great community to live in and to grow up in, and I'd like to keep it that way for my child to stay here. I say child; he's 26, but the biggest problem we have is jobs, because when our children grow up, they seem to move out, and I'd like to change that to keep them here.
Right.
To keep the town and county growing.
Right. Well, there are a lot of positives, a lot of good things about our community. It is, you said, it's a close-knit, it's a great little community. And that, sometimes I think we tend to overlook some of the assets and some of the things that we do already have here. Granted, there's nothing wrong with, some people argue, well, instead of a factory, why don't we help the mom and pops that are already here, or allow do something to might stimulate more mom and pops, 10 more mom and pops, and I say mom and pops, just the small merchant. But, there's all kinds of factors that are detrimental to them right now. A lot of people shopping online, people traveling out to go other places, larger places to shop, so to speak. Well, I guess if you want to address something as far as the local economy, shopping local and doing things to stimulate business. It might not necessarily be a factory. Everybody always talks about a factory, and that's wonderful, factory.
Well,
but you have to have the labor
business,
force. But
yes.
but what if you had, a way to stimulate to where, people collectively in a community, don't go out of town to buy things. They stay here to shop. They don't, they don't go online. You institute a culture where we have everything we need right here. And let's get it here.
That's right. That's right.
So I think that's one thing I think that we can look at as well. And I'm not running for anything. I'm just saying that there's people that make that argument.
Yes, then that ties in with one of the things that was brought up in the forum. When you do shop out of town, your tax dollars go out of town, and taxes are spent here and hopefully used here in this county. If you go to Tennessee or Illinois to shop and buy gas, of course, those tax dollars are going to not come back to Kentucky. They're going to go to those surrounding states.
Yeah.
So, but we do need the small businesses here. We need everybody to just get involved and do what they can to keep those small businesses here and shop locally instead of, like you say, going through Amazon and eBay and
that pressure that's just not pressure here in Princeton. That pressure
there's pressure everywhere.
That they're pressuring everywhere. The
Yes.
retail shops, but it's really neat to go drive through downtown Princeton and see the diversity of the shops that we have and the availability of different things that we have here. No, you can't get everything here, but there are lots of things that you can get here. That
And people say there's a lot of empty buildings. Well, there's no more empty buildings now downtown than I can ever remember.
Right.
There's something almost in every store, and that's a good thing. That's a good sign that people do like shopping here and trying to support our local businesses.
What else as Judge Executive do you see yourself? What are some of the things that you see maybe you doing in that position?
Well, first of all, I'd have
on
the open transparency in the office and keep it to where people can call and communicate with the office to find out what needs to be done. I've lost myself again. Anyway, the most important job of the judge executive is probably to make sure that the county is being run efficiently and properly, and I believe I can do that with the business background that I have. To make sure that the needs of all the citizens are met. And by doing that, the judge has to listen to the people. So by listening, that means that I can communicate with all levels, with everybody, and get those things done that the people are wanting. I know they talk about roads and they talk about all the other departments in the county. Again, it goes back to our tax dollars and what our budget allows us to do. And by working with all the magistrates together with myself, I believe that we can come up with a solution for all the problems that most of the people have.
Right.
And
there are a few out there.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
there's always going to be a problem.
There's always going to be something, I guess, isn't there?
Yeah, there always is.
Okay.
Yeah, but hopefully we can correct the majority of them and keep the county moving forward to grow the businesses downtown, keep them here, and to grow the other industries that we possibly could start bringing back into the county.
Right, and a lot of folks, there are folks, that they talk about county and city combining and those kind of things. That might what the future may look like, or counties combining. And of course, we've got folks that go to work outside this county. They live in this county, but they go to work outside to different places. Right. And then we have folks that come into this county from other places.
I know for years I've commuted back and forth from Hopkinsville to Princeton, living here, working there. And every morning on that jaunt to Hopkinsville, I'd see cars coming this way to go to work, and in the afternoon, I'd see them going back the other way. So it's true, like you say. There's people that work,
and there are some really good studies about there, that track all of that commuting and working out there. Yeah. So those are interesting concepts that I'm sure in the future somebody will look at.
That's true.
But as we summarize here, I'll give you the floor to kind of summarize and kind of talk to the voter, so to speak, and add anything else that you would like to as we head closer and closer here. We're less than a week away to the May primary.
Well, I thought I had my notes all compiled, but I can't find that particular one. Hang on just one second.
Yeah.
There's
we can talk about some more things. As far as infrastructure, I know that's been a big word. It seems like that as far as many citizens look to the fiscal court, the judge, and the magistrates to make sure our roads are in good shape.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that goes back to a lot of the buying gas here locally or in the state, because that money all filters down. And one of the things that was brought up, several years ago, gas was $5 a gallon. Now it's down to about, I think, $2.70 now. Mm-hmm. But and it's rising a little bit. But when that gas went down, the state lost hundreds of millions of dollars from the tax revenue to repair the roads. So that trickles down to each county. Mm-hmm. So we lost money also. But it's it's just something that we need to keep our business local and do what we can there. To kind of summarize, I'm just proud of my family legacy of the past 200 years, and we need to keep our movement moving forward. My goal is to make the office more open and transparent, to work with all the county departments, to keep all the budget balanced as smoothly as possible in a professional manner. I work closely, like I said, with all those factors. And, the main thing would be I humbly ask for everybody's vote and help me get into office to where we can make some changes and do the right thing for the people here. It's my first time in politics, so I'm kind of lost on a lot of the way that a lot of the ones that's been involved in it for years, as some of the other candidates, say I've been in it 2 terms, 1 term, whatever. So it's different for me. I just felt like that there's things that need to be changed, need to be fixed, and I know how to do that. I've worked in that kind of position all my life to where I've been in charge of managing people and business, and that's what it's going to take.
Okay, good deal. Well, certainly appreciate your time. We've about got it wrapped up here. And we about got our 30 minutes in.
That's cool. I thought we might make it 15 minutes or something.
No, you did pretty well, and certainly wish you luck. And thank you for your time to come in. And again, if you are interested in the candidates forum that happened last Saturday night down at the Tourism Center, that involved all of our judge executive candidates on the Democratic side in a forum. And it was done Saturday night, and we will re-air that coming up Thursday evening at 7 o'clock. You can hear more from our judge executive candidates on that forum there. So,
and just to touch base a little bit too, if I haven't been around, there's been some personal reasons why I couldn't get to everybody in the county, but I do have a Facebook page.
Yeah, I wanted to that was next.
Look for Rick Blackburn for Caldwell County Judge Executive, and of course, you can call me on my phone number. It's listed on that also, or I can give it to you now, 270-625-1895. Or just email me, text me, just whatever. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask. If I don't have the answer, it'll be like Saturday night. I will find it and post it.
And I guess you got to stay tuned for that. I don't know. So, and that'll be at 7 o'clock when we re-air it. Listen for that. But again, Rick's email is Rick Blackburn, all lowercase, at live.com. You can email him. Facebook, Rick Blackburn for Caldwell County Judge Executive.
Correct.
Instagram, Rick Blackburn for Judge, 4 meaning the number 4, Judge. And then you can, of course, telephone Rick at 270-625-1895.
That's it.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. And that's going to wrap up this segment of Tiger Talk. It's part of our Meet the Candidates series here on Tiger Talk. And we do want you to tune in tomorrow because coming up on Tiger Talk tomorrow, our 4th District Republican representative, state representative Lynn Beckler will be in studio at 8 o'clock. And then our candidate for 1st District Congressman Paul Walker from Murray, he will be in studio as well. That's coming up on our Meet the Candidate series tomorrow on Tiger Talk. So busy Thursday. My thanks to Rick Blackburn and him being here today and introducing himself. I know many of you know him, but he's running for on the Democratic ticket, candidate for Caldwell County Judge Executive. And don't forget to tune in to the forum tomorrow night, as we will re-air that from Saturday night at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. At 8:55, that's going to wrap up Tiger Talk this morning. Thank you so much for joining us, and tune in tomorrow at 8 o'clock as we welcome Lynn Beckler. And then at 8:30, it's Mr. Paul Walker. Have a good day, everybody. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow on Tiger Talk on WPKY The Tiger. Thanks for listening to